Welcome to Fangirl Diaries. This is your fangirl host with the most, Danny. And let's get into today's entry. Lilia, this is our first non-BL series. That's not a movie. Ain't that amazing? We've done so many episodes that are going to come out before and after this one that are just about boys kissing boys.
Hooray.
This one is... Look how big my laughter got on the monitor thingy. Funny enough, though, this technically is like a girl. Well, Hikaru isn't dressed up like a girl when he kisses, but she just cross-dressed, so it does still fit in that realm. I don't know. Are we past the 7 seconds so I can start cursing? Yes! You can't monetize an episode unless you wait 7 seconds to curse. How much would I bet that's been changed and it's actually 30 seconds and we've just been fucking that shit up? It would be so fucked. But anyway, we're going to do Cinderella's Closet. It's funny because I'm having trouble starting this episode because I don't know how to start it. But it is one of my favorite series of like the past year, to the point where like when I found out it was a manga series, I went all over the city trying to find all the like issues. Because like I think there was 8 of them? 9 of them. Lilia, you came with me one time, remember? You did when I was trying to find the first one. So we went to Kinya Kunya, and this was like right after the series premiered, and I was so mad because the series was so good. And I go, "Hey, do you guys have this?" And the girl working this, not any of her fault, I think this is the store's fault, goes, "Oh yeah, I think we might have had this before, and it didn't sell well, so we no longer carry it." And I'm just like, "What do you mean it didn't sell well, so you stopped carrying it? Is that what happens to books that get out of print?" Half the time, they don't sell well, and then they just stop caring. It was so sad. So then we go to Book Off, if you couldn't tell we're in New York City, and they had 3 copies of Volume 1, and it was like this pristine, like, copy, like, brand new, and a part of me was like, and this is me alleging, I was like, did Kinya Kunya drop these off here? Because I don't understand how. But then again, Kinya couldn't even get much money for that. They'd get like 25 cents. But still, it was 3 copies of Volume 1. I didn't understand that. Because the series is really good. The manga series is really good. And then I went to Barnes & Noble's, found, I think, the 3 other volumes, and then had to go to another manga store to find a couple more volumes. I was literally like hunting these volumes down because I sometimes couldn't find one. I was this close to ordering it online. And then Anime NYC happened, and I went. And I was like, I wonder if I can find it because it's published under 7C's publishing. They didn't even have it there. The series had just come out, and they didn't even have, like, Volume 1 on their table. And I so would have bought another copy if they'd had it there, just to boost the sales of the series. It made me so annoyed. I was like, how do you guys not have this here when this series just had a Netflix series come out? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what? Anyway, so let's get into it. All right, so let's read the synopsis. This is, by the way, this is a Netflix series. It's a romance. It's about 12 episodes. I don't have the release dates written on here, and I'm not going to go by cast or anything. I just kind of want to get into it. But you can only watch this on Netflix. So if you have a Netflix account, please go and watch it. I really, it got really popular on TikTok. I really want this series to do well. I love these actors, and I'm just hoping if it gets more popular, we get, like, stuff from it, like merch. I don't know if, like, that's going to affect us getting merch, but I would love for it to get popular enough to get like fan-made merch at like a con or something. Anyway, so the synopsis. Haruka is a plain Jane who left the countryside to start her college life in Tokyo. She's secretly in love with Garutaki? Whatever, he's a fucking asshole. I hate him. A coworker at her part-time job, but she lacks the self-confidence to confess her feelings to him. Then she meets Hikaru, a glamorous but sharp-tongued fashionista who begrudgingly agrees to play fairy godmother for Haruka. However, there's more to Hikaru than meets the eye. I'm sorry, everybody. I swear I'm trying my best. I don't know why I kept reading them and I was like, huh? No, I know how to say it. Anyway, this was probably my favorite series this year. I think I literally watched it on repeat every day for like a month straight. Like I just put it on the TV in the background and just let it play. The manga series is also really good. There are a lot of differences in between that I felt like I understood why they changed it, but I wish we would have gotten more. So it's a really short series that you get out within like less than a week. I love this idea of she's a plain Jane who's always wanted to be girly. So it's not like she's a tomboy who is trying to become girly because of a guy. Like we see it opens with her in high school And she's very pretty. And she very clearly has written this as like things she wants to do. And she kind of makes that list like I think a lot of girls make. You know, she wants to move to the big city. She wants to make lots of friends. She wants to change up her style. You know, she really likes this girly style. Because in many cases, I feel like a lot of girls who are girly, it's not because, who are girly who don't dress girly, it's not because they're not girly. It's just because sometimes you can't afford it. It's a lot of money. Like, I'm very feminine, but I dress very tomboyish. But I really am girly, but I wear a lot of t-shirts and jeans because as much as I would love to wear, like, a lot of outfits that I see a lot of girly girls wear, a lot of times it's really difficult in my confident-wise and then money-wise to find those types of outfits. Like, I really am not confident in my body right now that I find tops that I really like, but then when I put them on, because it extends my features in a certain way, I then no longer feel pretty in it. And it really sucks. Like, my favorite color is pink, but I wear a lot of dark blues and blacks because I feel like it's more slimming. Whereas pink, it's all there. So I can understand, like, maybe not being the girl. Also, it's expensive. Clothes can be expensive. I have a lot of t-shirts that I get at concerts and stuff. So I kind of get where Haruka is at. And I just think it's great that she's not turning girly for a guy, but it's kind of like what pushes her to decide, I'm finally going to do it. She has been in for a while, just been focusing on school and work. She's had a crush on this dude who I don't like him. I hate him. I don't like him. He becomes decent later on, especially in the manga, but at the same time, I don't like him. I'm not even bother with his name because fuck him. What makes him a red flag for me in the beginning is that she's technically, it's about to be her birthday. So she's still a minor. She's about to be an adult, legally old enough to drink. No, she's not like a minor. Like she's not at the legal drinking age. Sorry, she's not a minor. She's not at drinking age yet. That's the right way to put it. Sorry, I was thinking about another show we were watching. And he just got dumped by his girlfriend. Like, their coworker is like, he comes in, he goes, oh, let's go drinking. And their other coworker's woman said, you got dumped by your girlfriend, didn't you? And he goes, yeah. She goes, well, if you're not communicating with her, obviously she's going to break up with you. And then suddenly, Haruka becomes the rebound. I'm like, girl, no, because she gets so excited. He's like, yeah, we should hang out. Basically kind of like asking her, but not really asking her out. And I'm like, no, don't. He's not worth it. So on the day before her birthday, actually, funny enough, this happens beforehand. She actually bumps into Hikaru beforehand. She bumps into him, because that's the twist at the end of the episode, is that Hikaru is dressed like a girl, but he's a boy, and he identifies as a boy. He just likes to dress pretty. They bump into each other, and she makes a comment about, like, oh, I wish I had time to, like, do all this makeup and stuff. And Hikaru says something along the lines of, like, did someone tell you that you look pretty without makeup? Did someone tell you have to put makeup on? She goes, no. She goes, something along the lines of, like, telling her something that kind of builds the confidence of, like, you don't need makeup to be pretty. And I think that's, like, really important because it's true. And then she gets asked out, and then it's the day of her birthday. She wakes up late, and she realizes, I have nothing ready. I don't have any makeup. I don't know what to wear. I don't have to dress up. She's still very tomboyish. Homegirl carries a giant backpack as a purse when she's going out to the city. I'm not kidding you. Like, I get that taking that to work and to school, but I kind of get why she wants to be more girly because she's carrying a full school backpack. Not even like I have lounge flies, which kind of are like purses, but she has a full-blown backpack. And I'm like, girl, no, you need a small bag. You don't need to carry. What are you carrying? Like, oh my God. So she goes into one of these beauty stores, and I've been to Japan, so I feel like I've been into one of these beauty stores, and they're so nice. They look like department stores, but it's just all makeup, and you kind of just like want to wander around and look at everything and buy everything, because I bought so much makeup. And she sees Hikaru there, and she basically goes up to him and is like, what foundation are you wearing? What is that on your face? How do you make your face so shiny? And I was like, girl, calm down. You're scaring the hose. Like, calm down. The fact that no one turned to her and told her to be quiet was nuts. Because homegirl was freaking the fuck out. And then Hikaru kind of, like, takes pity on her and, like, helps her. Buys her with makeup. And talk about how they're walking down the street and fuckboy here walks past them, sees them hanging out, quote unquote, they're really walking together. And, he's like, it's great that you have someone to hang out with. I have to go to work now. Completely forgetting they were going on a date. Because he's an asshole. And I fucking hate him. And I hate that she has such a crush on him. But I'm like, also, I get it, girl. Because I was the same way. But fucking hell. No. And she gets so sad. And then Hikaru's like, fuck it, we're gonna make you up, girl. And they, he makes her up. I like how you kind of see what the style of makeup is in Japan, because it's very neutral in some ways. It's kind of like that no makeup look a little bit, where you don't really see a lot of like deep colors. It's like a little bit of eyeshadow, and it's very subtle and it's very pretty. Mind you, this is all the first episodes, really quick. She gets put in like somewhat of an ugly dress, because it was like this gray, like she looked like she was going to a wedding. I was like, why are you wearing that? But whatever. And she runs up to the guy that she likes and is like, we were supposed to go on a date today. And he goes, oh shit, I'm sorry, I forgot. I was like, no shit. Like, it's her birthday, asshole. And then he like tells her they'll go out again on a different day. And I'm like, no, don't say yes. And then she does, because God help her. She gets really happy. And I have to say, if you're watching the show, this scene is my favorite. There's a scene like towards the end where she grew up on a cabbage farm. Her family's cabbage farmers. And she gives Hikaru cabbages. And Hikaru makes this face of like smiling and like, what the hell are you doing? Because that's how they used to like say thank you, is give cabbages. And that's her offering to be like, please teach me how to do makeup. And then he agrees, and they become kind of like friends. And then homegirl gets so wasted like me that he ends up having to stay over her house. Like, she gets full on wasted. And then when she wakes up the next day, he's out of the wig and out of the outfit, and he's like shirtless. And let me tell you, I think his name is Leo, and like real, like not acting wise, he's gorgeous. He's so pretty. He grabs her face. Because he basically is like, it's me. You were the one who asked for me. And she goes, did we do it? Like, she freaks out because she thinks they had sex. She thinks she like, just like, girl, no. And he goes, no, you're like, look at me. And then she realizes who it is. And he goes, why don't you jump him and say yes to me? And I was screaming the first time I watched it, being like, fucking say yes. And she doesn't, because she likes the other dude. And he like plays it off like he's joking. I'm like, fuck. So that's literally the first episode, and I was hooked right away. It's very cute, slice of life, very simple. It's nothing too crazy. The craziest thing in that whole series is just that he cross-dresses, and like he makes it a point is that it's not like he's straight. He says that to her. He's like, I like girls. I'm a dude. It's just that he likes pretty things. He just likes pretty things. And he likes wearing pretty things, so he cross-dresses because he likes doing makeup. He likes doing hair, so he does it to himself. He wears a wig. It doesn't bother him. And you know what? Snaps. We love a man who's confident enough in his femininity, who decides to dress up in the way he wants. So that's basically the whole series. It's kind of the journey of her becoming more confident in herself and trying to find love and being this friendship that may turn into more. And it's really cute. And he takes care of her. You know, he very much becomes this fairy godmother. And it's funny that the description says reluctantly, but like begrudgingly. But he seems to really enjoy it. I had read the full series, and I will say the number one thing that like I'm gonna be comparing a lot to the manga series in this a lot. It's a very cute slice of life. I said that already. I'm trying to figure out how to transition because I don't want to go episode by episode because I'm not gonna be able to. He clearly has nobody except for his friend, who I think is gay because he hits on him a lot, and so they almost did it one time. Yeah. Hikaru works at a fashion school. So he really has this friend who is a Nepo baby. He says it because his father owns a company. And I'm pretty sure he is gay. They just don't outright say it. And the one thing I feel like they replaced, so in the manga series, Hikaru is still going to school for fashion and makeup, but he works at a fashion house at a makeup, because and they do them here, but especially in Asia, you can actually pay to get your makeup done and your hair done professionally, not just for like weddings and stuff, like day-to-day stuff. His aunt in the books runs this like house that's that where he's training. I think she owns the school, and that's where he gets a lot of his clothes and stuff. She's not apparent in the series, and I think they replace her with a friend because we see him more, which I was like, I get it, but I also was not into it because I'm like, I would have loved to have seen the aunt. And we find out later, much like in the books, he's really estranged from his family. So he's very much like almost like a loner character. And here's this girl who is super bubbly and just, wants to change herself. And it's like, project. Are you tired? I swear we'll do this quick. So to mention back fuckboy. No, Lilia. So you want to know where they go for their first date? You want to know? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you. They go to a friend's launch party.
Okay. That's weird.
Right? So here's the thing. He works at a restaurant part-time, but he also clearly on the part-time models and has friends who are influencers who own these companies. Because, like, he takes her to this party. It's a launch party for some brand or something, and there's all these fancy foods. First off, you don't take a girl there on a first date. And then he's bumping into people who he hasn't seen in a while. Like, there's an American or a foreigner that clearly is white. I always love when they pop up in series like this. I'm always like, oh, a white man. And it's always a white man. And they're talking in English. But this dude's got an accent, so English is not his first language either. And they're talking about how they haven't seen each other in so long. And the foreign guy is like, oh, who did you bring? And he goes, oh, I brought with me someone special. Dude, this is your first date. And he tells her he says that. And she gets so excited, which kind of later contradicts what he says later in a later episode. So they're on the date. Haruka ends up being there. Hikaru, because his Nepo baby friend knows the person. So they go and they're hanging out. And he says something to Haruka early in the episode where she tries doing makeup on her own and she messes up. And she's like, I'm trying, and that, you know, she's not really confident in saying that she was trying. And he kind of says something on the lines that, like, after the age of 20, you have no excuse on, like, being ugly. But in the sense of, like, I know it sounds fucked, but, like, I'm not saying the direct line. After 20, oh, wait, no, it's not that. So the line is, after 20, being ugly is a choice. It's not wrong. You know what I mean? From what you could take out of that is that really it's just putting effort into yourself. It's like, you're an adult now. If you want to be pretty, you got to put in the work. After that, that's on you. That's really what that means. It was straight on it because she wants to learn to do makeup, but she's not really learning. Like, she messes up. And yeah, it's her first time, but, like, why aren't you doing the research? Like, when I was doing makeup growing up, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I still watch YouTube videos here and there on how to do makeup and do techniques, and then I perfected whatever it is I'm doing. A lot of people like how I do my makeup. And I'm still learning and testing things. So you kind of see that friendship kind of bubbling there because it's becoming really cute. And it's funny because fuckboy ends up bumping into them. Like, she bumps into Hikaru and her feet are hurting because she's wearing heels. And Hikaru's talking to her, and then suddenly he bumps in. And I was like, oh, who's your friend? Like, asshole, this is the friend you saw her with the other day. The fuck? And then Haruka gives her a, I feel like I'm mixing up names, but Haruka, whatever. It gives her a Band-Aid and she runs off to the bathroom. And then he puts on a girly voice to kind of be like, to test, to be like, I don't trust you. And like fakes flirt with him. And he like, oh, you're testing me because it's your friend. And I'm like, so this happened to you before, hasn't it, fuck boy? Huh. And Hikaru like threatens him. Haruka thought like, if you fuck with my friend, I'm gonna fuck with you, basically. Which, girl power, but not really girl. But again, why are you taking this girl on a first date to a launch party? Cut to episode 3, they go camping. He invites the two of them to go camping. He's fucking weird. I don't like him. But here's the thing. The campsite, there are other girls that he knows he's friends with. So Hikaru pushes her. And I was like, go help him, go talk to him. Talk about how, and this is where you're going to be like, really? They're setting out a fire, and he basically admits that, I know that you like me. No shit, you went on a date together. Fucking idiot. But that he's afraid that she might only like him because of the image she has of him. Like, that's what he basically says, like, I don't want you to think that I'm just some Prince Charming or some shit. And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he still pursues her. He's like, I just don't think we're ready to date. But then, like, the next 2 episodes are dating. It's like, I don't, and she really, here's what bothers me about the relationship, is that she never really gets to know him. She is very blinded on, like, this was first love. She's very young. Like, it's understandable. This happened to me with my first boyfriend. I really didn't get to know him that often. But, like, they don't really know each other. To the point where, like, she's getting more confident in doing her makeup. And she's kind of venturing in. Like, at one point, she, like, tells Hikaru that, like, she started watching a YouTuber to learn makeup. And she invites him and fuckboy to come see this YouTuber that she's been watching. And she gets invited on stage to do makeup. Turns out that the girl that's on stage is fuckboy's ex-girlfriend from high school. Pause for dramatic effect because Lilia went, oh, yep. And like, she's not mean. She's a very sweet girl. But like the first episode she appears in, I really wanted to like punch her. I was trying to hide from my girl. I was like, oh, fuck this. Because fuckboy really doesn't do anything to assure her that like, hey, she's in the past. This is not something you have to worry about. It's very much like they talk, him and the girl. Her name is Mio. Mio is her name. I might say it wrong. She very much calls him out on the fact that like, just like how he's acting kind of like a dipshit when they meet all together. And she mistakes Hikaru for his girlfriend instead of Haruka. And it's really funny because then he says something along the lines of like, oh yeah, he's really good at makeup. And she's like, Mio's like, dude, you can't say that to a girl, you moron. Because she doesn't realize that that's a boy. But that first episode, right, towards the end, Haruka, like, she invites him to come eat at her house. And he's like, oh, I want to invite you over. And you know what he fucking says to her? Oh, yeah, I'd definitely come over. I want to taste your home cooking. I'm sorry. When did she say she was going to cook for you? In what world? So she has to learn how to make food. And she literally asked. Thank God she did. She was like, what food do you want me to cook for you? And he goes, fried chicken. And then you know who comes and saves the day? Hikaru. Because he helps teach her how to make food. And you kind of see little by little they're falling for each other. And it's kind of because I don't think he doesn't wear the wig the first time. So he's like out of like his girl outfit. He's just himself. And they talk about, she actually mentions to him, oh my God, I would love to marry someone like you. And they flash to like a wedding scene. But for some reason, he's in a dress and she's in a tux. Because she thinks that he would want to be cross-dressing. Because again, that's like the problem that she has, is that she's very innocent and very naive. That I think she just automatically assumes that because Hikaru likes to dress up and cross-dress, that's all he wants to ever do. And he even says it, I'm a guy. I'm going to be the one in the tux. And she like jokes because she does that a lot. And it's like, okay, fair because he does dress up, but like, he's not going to wear a wedding dress on your wedding day. Like, come on. And it's kind of very good because he does have a crush on her. He admits it by, I think, the camping episode. Like, he admits it to the guy because the guy doesn't know that he's a cross-dresser until, like, the third episode. Until the fourth episode when it's revealed. And then he realizes that, oh, the girl, because they meet together, they talk about, like, crushes and stuff. Begrudgingly because Hikaru like got super drunk and didn't want to, and then he realizes that like, oh, the girl you like is her, and he basically is like, yeah, it is, so you better not hurt her. And I'm like, God damn it, this girl's choosing wrong. So I seriously hate this dude. I hate him so much. So fuckboy comes to her house. She's making fried chicken. She's doing what she was taught to do. He runs out of the house because his ex calls for him. Doesn't tell her anything because Mio calls him because apparently she has a stalker. But like, mind you, he runs out with no explanation, which again is another reason why that relationship is failing. You don't communicate with any of your exes, like any of your girlfriends. You ran off. You let this girl alone. All she knows is that your ex is in trouble. Her guy friend is here for her, the one you're so worried about. And then when they find you, you're in a position where it looks like you guys are making out. When in reality, like a soda spilled on him, so she was wiping it off. And Miu apologizes. Like, she's like, I'm sorry. And he calls her out because they meet up after the stalker gets arrested. And she apologizes and, like, brings her a gift to say thank you. And then when he walks away, she says to him, you need to treat her right. That's, like, one of the best girls you're going to have around. And she goes, I am. And he goes, no, you're not. Like, you really aren't. And the only one who hasn't figured it out is Haruka, because she's still in that cloud. Like, she's kind of realizing a little by little, but it's still, like, apparent to her that, like, she's trying to make this work. She's trying a little too hard to make this work. And it's like, sweetie, it's not going to work. And all on the side is that you have a guy who is doing her makeup, doing her hair, treating her like a princess, and she's not going for it. I'm like, girlie, go! It's me every time. I mind you, I've watched the series like 50 times, and I still, every time I watch it, I'm like, no, go for him. We shouldn't be wasting so much time. Which is another thing I'll talk about at the end. So they break up because timeline-wise, I think a couple months have passed, and he decides to get her an anniversary ring because that's something girls want. And she realizes that, like, this isn't the relationship she wants. This is just a guy that she liked, and very clearly they weren't meant for each other. And she says the main reason she figured out because around this time, Hikaru has been dealing with work, dealing with school, because they're preparing for their final big project, and so they're going to start applying for internships. So he doesn't have all the time in the world to be there for her until he sees her walking away, like walking home from her date by herself. And mind you, it's like early in the day. And she admits that like she realized it because when Fuckboy would look at Mute, it was like he was a totally different person. He was more himself. And that whenever they would say goodbye, and it's something I realized because I hate it when guys are realized to do this. He never turned back to say bye to her. Like she would turn back to see if he was looking, and he was just kept walking. Men suck. They do. So I will give the series and the manga series credit. They don't get the two together right away, right? So I have to reread the manga. I don't remember how it goes in the manga, but in the show. I do kind of remember what happens in the manga because they took it out of the show. So in the show, there's a big fashion contest for all the students that Hikaru has to participate, and they need a model. And apparently the way he's designed the makeup and the hair and the look basically is what Haruka looks like. And his friend realizes it and says, you should be our model. And she begrudgingly says no first because she's not confident. And he says to her, afterwards, because they're alone for a bit, him and I think it's Shu, I can't remember, that like Hiraku's worked really hard on this, and I think it would just mean the world if he could get it right, if she would do it for him. Like you should do this for him, like trying to push. And she agrees. And Homegirl works and trains, and I think that's when he falls for her more because like she becomes more confident in herself as she walks and she does makeup. And it's really cute that, like, he does her makeup and it's really pretty. And then he really takes his, like, makeup designs from her. Because at one point she's playing with the makeup. And during the competition, he had hurt his arm the week before because she fell on him while she was practicing. And he drops the brush and he can't pick it up because of his hand. So he uses her fingers the way that she did. And it, like, turns out really well. So it's like the relationship is really growing. Like the more they spend time together one-on-one, he's realizing that like she's blossoming into this confident girl. This girl who's like really pretty, who might not need him anymore, but he still wants to be there. And he realized that she actually really cares for him because all of this is happening. His parents show up and he hasn't been in contact with his parents because his parents don't agree with the fact that he cross-dresses and they find him to be a disgrace and everything. And his mom sees that this girl really cares for her son and shows up to the fashion contest. And his dad watches over the phone. So they kind of slowly reconcile. I will say the one thing I hated about that not doing it from the book is that it's not a competition in the book. It's not a fashion contest. It's actually a ball. So his rich friend's parents throw a big ball, like a Cinderella ball. He even calls it the Cinderella ball. And they get invited. And that's kind of where I think he wears a tux for the first time. He dresses up like a man. And she gets to dress up like Cinderella. And that's when they bump into his parents. And they act rude and everything. And I wish they had kept the ball in because it makes more sense that she's supposed to be Cinderella if she's at a ball. But they pull it out. But whatever. So because the competition is kind of like that because she blossoms into like a pretty princess. So after the competition, his friend is basically like, oh, I want to bring him with me to Korea because I have to go trade in Korea to take over the company one day. And she freaks out. And I think Hiraku realizes like, I got to ask her out. I got to go out. So they go on a date. And it makes me really happy. But they're idiots. She's stupid. She literally doesn't realize that he has feelings for her, even though he asked her out. Because throughout the date, she's trying not to. So she believes that he likes someone because he says that I do have a crush on someone. She thinks it's someone else. She's not figured out that it's her. And it drives me nuts. I'm like, girlie, stop. He plans this whole date, and he calls her out on it, and then he's like, it's you that I care about, blah blah blah. And then it clicks for her, and then she goes up and it's like, I'm not gonna lose you. And then they fall in love, and then they get together, and it's like, yay! And there's one episode left. And it sucks because we fast forward by 5 years. So this is where, because I just recapped the whole series. I just spent 30 minutes recapping. I didn't really talk about production or anything like that, which is kind of crazy. I will say, before I get to like how I feel about the ending, visually, it's such a beautiful show. The clothing, the makeup, it's so well done. It really is like the perfect comfort show to just have on your TV, because you could just watch it and just let it go. And like I get really into it sometimes. Like I'll play from the first episode, and even though I've seen that first episode like 100 times, I still will sometimes just stop, sit, and watch it because it's such a good show. I could just put it on any episode; it doesn't matter. Even with the stupid fuck boy in it. But in watching those two, it's just the outfits, and then seeing Japan. I know Japan gets a lot of flack right now because of shit going on, and it's like, I get it. Fuck their government, whatever. But it's still such a beautiful country, and like watching the city life, I really love the imagery. I love seeing the different places. I love the characters in general. They're so well written. They're so well acted. They have. Some people say they don't have good chemistry. I think they have good chemistry. I think they have like they really build that like friendship, and it's really cute. And it's really well done. And again, it's the costumes are great. The makeup's great. It's just an overall such a good show. I really don't have much negative to say about it, and not much like to talk about like everything else wise, because I feel like the series came out of nowhere. It kind of just popped up on my Netflix, and I just so happened to catch it after I think 2 episodes. I actually, funny enough, I watched this on my flight. Oh my God. I think I watched this on my flight from... I watched this on my flight in California. I watched the first episode. I downloaded it from San Diego. And I remember just being mad that I didn't download the 3rd episode, or that there were not more episodes, because then I couldn't watch anymore. And I really just wanted it. And it was like, it was dropping week by week, and it was just so good. I was like so excited. I think that's why I was so excited to get the books, because then I stopped watching it for a bit to read the books. I will say, I feel like you really should read the books to appreciate the series, because the one criticism that I have seen, that I can kind of understand, is that the ending is really rushed. The problem is the books are rushed at the end. The last volume, we go into a 5-year time jump like in the series. They've been together for 5 years. We don't see them together for long. The author is just kind of wrapping it up and like ending it. I guess because either maybe they didn't have the chance to do any more volumes, or she just wanted to end it. But it ends with them getting engaged. It ends with them working where they want to work. And it's very sweet and lovely. The problem I have with the series is that I don't know if there were some episodes we could have combined and made it less shorter, so that way we could have done like the 5-year jump, maybe the second to last episode, or like ended it halfway through the second to last episode and then finished it in the last episode. Is that they go on vacation, and I guess an accident happens, or there's some weather accident, I can't remember, and Haruka can't find Hikaru. They have similar names, damn, they really do. And she panics because she overhears that a young man is injured, and he's not answering the phone. And it turns out he was fine. It wasn't him, it was someone else. And then all this time, she was having trouble wrapping around the idea that maybe it's time for them to get married. And she says it. I believe she does propose to him first. And then he laughs and is like, I prepared this whole thing, you did it again. And then he proposes with a glass slipper, because she always wanted to wear glass slippers and be Cinderella. But yeah, so in the series, they cut out a lot. I feel like in the series, because they show more of like their business life, which is great, whatever. You kind of see where she's at. Like in the book, she works with Mo to like do the social media stuff for her vlogs and stuff, and she's still doing that by the 5 years, and then she stops when she works for a cosmetic company. But I wish we would have gotten more of their romance life, because they show them in like, or like seen pictures of them together. Like in a this is what we do it without having to say it, because then they do the accident thing, that a young man's been in an accident, he left, and then they show Hikaru leaving his phone behind, but they do it so rushed that he comes up behind her, that she doesn't really have much time to freak out. There's not much time for us to like involve. This is the last 3 minutes they do this, and then the proposal happens as the credits start rolling, and it pissed me off, because I'm like, why are we rushing through like the big ending? And that's like it takes a point. It's still my favorite series, but that really annoyed me to the point where I sometimes don't even watch the last episode. I do, but like it's just so annoying and frustrating. And I feel like a lot of people take the time jump and the fact that it's rushed as like, oh, they really could have kept going. But that's just how the series is. But I agree that like that could have been executed better. But it is what it is. My other gripe with the show is the fact that they changed a lot. So we never see her family. They do have a whole episode where they go meet her family, which I get if this is a low budget show, they didn't want to add too many actors. They bring her mom, and her mom in the books is a K-pop, J-pop crazed fangirl. She comes to the city to go see her favorite group. And the reason why they took that away, and it pisses me off because in the books, her being into K-pop, J-pop is the reason why she accepts Hikaru, because all her favorite idols wear makeup. So it's not unusual to see a guy wear makeup. And they take him out of drag, like, really quick. Like, as soon as they get together, we rarely see him in drag anymore. And that is also secretly frustrating because it's like, that was the whole point of the series, that he accepted her. Whereas in the manga, we see very much so that they spend holidays and go on vacations, and he's still dressing up. So it's like, why did we take that away? Why is that suddenly that he got with the girl and then he is now dressing still very feminine, but it's very masculine. Like, it's very clear that to make it sure that everyone knows he's a boy. Like, that was part of the charm. I don't know. Maybe because it was TV. Japan's weird. But, I mean, that's kind of all that I have to say. I basically just gave a, like, episode-by-episode review for this series. It's kind of wild, but it was, like, such a good series. I want everyone to watch it. Me describing it isn't doing it justice. I feel like everyone should watch it. It's a lot of fun. It's just something, like I said, you watch really quickly. I'm probably going to watch it on the plane. Well, maybe not to London because I have other things I have to watch. But like I said, I'll probably go home tonight after I'm done watching Five Nights at Freddy's. We're dropping this in like late January, way after that movie's out. They couldn't tell when I'm seeing it. Rating wise, I am going to give this a 9 out of 10 just because that last episode really it from being like a perfect 10 out of 10 and them taking him out of like drag right away. But I can't really complain about the rest of the series. Like, me complaining about fuckboy or whatever is just because I didn't like him as a character. But I think that's what made it so good. Also, I found out he's also in a boy band. I was going through TikTok because I follow both of the leads, and then I follow the channel that dropped the series because they posted some stuff, and he popped up, and apparently he's in a boy band. I'm not going to make any of their songs a song of the week because I don't remember what the band is called. So I apologize if you're a fan of his songs. But I'm not. So, yeah. Really, what's my song of the week? I don't remember. I did that to fuck with you. I did that. So my song of the week is going to be Lover Girl by Leve. Leve? Oh, God. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Lily says I am. So Leve. I've only heard a few of her songs. This one's a good one. So I think it fits. I like that the second line does have Mr. Tokyo, which is for this show. And it fits the aesthetic of the show, I think, as well. So, yeah, that's my song of the week. And, Lily, you have anything you want to add?
I might actually watch this show.
Yay! You have Netflix?
I do.
You should be watching this show. Yay, we got one. Woo! Yay. All right, goodbye, everybody. Good night. All right, guys, that's it for this entry. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts. On Twitter, you can find us at FG Diaries Pod. On Tumblr, TikTok, and Instagram, you'll find us at FG Diaries Podcast. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and hope you all have a wonderful fangirly day.